Welcome back to another Pristine Productions. Today we're going to be talking about a very special session here. We're talking about mastering for streaming. You want to get your stuff ready for YouTube. You want to get ready for Spotify, the whole 9 yards, iTunes. So I'm going to show you guys some tricks how you get your streaming ready. And we're going to share some tools that we use, techniques to get stuff popping. So with no further ado, let's get right down into it. Shout out to all the fans. Remember, you can hit me up. Remember, you guys can hit me up on my website as well. Link in the description. pristineproduction.website.com. Mixing course as well. How to mix soca, get that international sound. So we'll be using some tools here to get stuff popping. So let's get into it. So mastering for Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Bandcamp, you name it. You want to make sure your mix is balanced. You want to make sure everything is in place. Low end is good, mid range is good. We're going to cut straight into this tutorial here. We're not going to do a lot of talking here. So I'm going to start off first here with the mid-side EQ here. Now we have our mix set, so we need to do some mastering. So let's go ahead and get down to that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to play the song without the EQ setting here. Let's play it again. I'm going to take a look at my analyzer here. As you can see, the line is above 60 here. We have a nice hill going down. So we pretty much have good low end, mid-range information here. That's why we need analyzers. And our phase is okay. We can see our information down here. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to open the top here. We're going to let a little bit more width, a little more stereo width on our track. So I'm going to play the track, and I'm going to roll off a little bit of low end here. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to play that in mono mode. Take up about 30. So we're going to look for some areas in the lower mids here. Right about 138 here. I'm going to pull that down. Almost a dB there. We're looking for areas to make the track more pleasing to the ear. Let's pull a little bit of mid-range, just a little bit down. Let's check the top end here, see if we're missing anything here. Now, I will tell you this, guys. Your mix has to be properly balanced, mixed well before you get to the mastering and before you can upload it to Tidal, Spotify, all these mediums here. Because they're going to check your stuff. If it's not on standard, you might be rejected. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to listen to the sides now. And we're going to take a look, see if we need to remove anything. First, we're going to remove the low end so we can get a tighter mix here. So I can hear a lot of the kick drum. So I'm going to do a roll off here. It's right about here. Now I'm going to sweep around for frequencies that I don't like. This is for listening playback on the streamers. Maybe right about here. Pull it down. Just a little bit. Maybe right about 4K. Now, a rule of thumb, I won't say a rule, but a tip. Don't try to go over a dB or 2 dB the most, guys. If you're finding that you're doing that on your masters, there's a pretty good chance that does not look good. So I recommend you mix over this track, go in the session. Don't fix it in the mastering. I'm going to unmute the sides here since we've cleaned up the bottom end now. We can get a tighter mix. Let's play it back. Bypass. On bypass. Let's open up the top, maybe about 7K here, so we can get that nice stereo width on the top, like what you hear in these commercial tracks. So I'm going to go to about 7K. I'm going to do some boosting while we're playing the mix here. So let me go ahead and do that. Maybe 1.6. Check this out. Listen to when she sings, and I engage the 7K, the 1.6 dB boost at 7.69K. You get a little bit open top there, so let's go ahead and do that. Bypass. On. Now we want some wide stereo here, so let's go ahead. I'm going to punch in about 125%, which is give me a nice big width without sounding like it's one big stereo washout thing. The mono maker here, I'm going to turn that up to about 150 so we can have a safe mono line. You know, we can keep things intact. So let's play the track without the mid-side EQ. On. Off. BX digital on. Now there you can hear the mix has got a little bit wide. The vocal is open up on the top. That sweet spot. You always hear These pros talking about. So now we're going to control the dynamics here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up the SSL from Waves here, and I'm going to set it on auto or fastest release. I have the ratio set to about 2 to 1. Threshold all the way down, because we're mixing into this bus here. And attack, I'm gonna keep it 30. If I bring it from 30, go to like 1, it's gonna kind of suck the dynamics. This is a pop soca, so I'm gonna engage the compressor here. Let's play the track without. On. Off. I want you guys to listen to the bass and the drums, and listen when the compressor is engaged. You can hear those dynamics really tight together, really tighten up the mix. So let's go ahead and do that.
I can give you the things you ain't gonna find in nobody. Baby, you can hold me, or recipe that for me. I'll be your one and only. It's all me, it's all me. Our love and it goes so deep. I won't make you feel lonely. I'll give you something holy. It's lovely, it's lovely. Set the mood for you. Come with me, you can follow me. I'll show you the view. Finish where we started. Leave your pain on my body. I can give you the things you ain't gonna find in nobody.
And this is a accurate readout of a healthy mix, guys.
I'll be your one and only. It's all me, it's all me.
Now let's get down to the tool here. Now here is the ADPTR Streamliner here, which you can check how your mix is going to translate to Spotify. I can see that they do a 14 dB drop on your tracks. Apple Music does it by 16. A Tidal is 13. YouTube's 14. Deezer 15. SoundCloud, I don't have the information on that. And here's the codec. I'm gonna turn on the codec here. Spotify has 320 kbps. That's the quality that they're using for your music when you upload it. So I recommend when you bounce down your mix, guys, you're mixing for clients or you're mixing for yourself, 320 kbps, known as high deluxe MP3. Apple Music drops this to 256 kbps for streaming. Tidal, that's FLAC, lossless. YouTube is 256. There is a very small difference between YouTube and Spotify quality. Deezer, FLAC, SoundCloud is 256. Bandcamp is 320. So how do we hear the difference? I'm going to play the track here, and you're going to see the information here with the dynamic range, the true peak, the LUFS. Normally, I boost the overall loudness of the mix to about -9, which is pretty loud and natural. And I do that. You may say, Ray, why would you boost your master up to -9 when Tidal and all these places drops it 14 dB, 16 dB, and 13 dB? I do that so when it translates, you still get that nice little volume boost, rather than just leaving it at 14. So that's a safe bet, guys. -8, -9. So let's play the track back here, and I'm gonna go through the codecs here. Let's go on. I'm gonna go to, let's see, MP3 codecs here. You're gonna hear the different bit rate. I'm gonna do a comparison. Then we're gonna go on the title and that stuff. So let's go ahead and do that.
Our love and it goes so deep. I won't make you feel lonely. I'll give you something holy.
So my loudness is at negative 11 LUFS. Here I have some high volume here. Dynamics. Let's go to 192. Go to one. Let's go to 96. Now you can hear that artifacts starts to drop. It's at 96. Let's carry it back to 320. So let's see how Apple Music sounds. Let's go to title. YouTube. So check this out, guys. YouTube is gonna drop the volume. It's gonna normalize it at negative 2 dB. So the overall volume drops to a negative 14. That's why a lot of you guys get your music lower on YouTube. Spotify, you get a little bit more high-end quality. You can hear a slight difference. Now you can also compare, you can A/B your own reference mix as well. But this is a very handy tool. It's because you can check the loudness here, the dynamic range. You can see the codecs that these platforms use to play back and stream your music. Notice when I go through YouTube, what I can hear is a little bit less high end, but still great compared to the Spotify, and that's because YouTube here is using 256 kbps and Spotify is using 320. Both of them is dropping the volume at negative 14. Now remember, this particular track is at negative 11, which is louder than these here, obviously. But I tend to go louder than that, negative 9. So when it drops down, we can still maintain dynamics and all that stuff. So I'm going to turn off the streamliner there. So what did we learn today? We've learned that, let me turn off that plugin. Using our analyzer, we make sure that our mix is healthy. We have a good readout here, little mountain. And if you don't know how it should look, play a professional mix, put up your analyzer. And we went ahead and did a little bit of stereo width. We boosted 7K about 1.6 dB to get a little open the top while removing the low end from the sides and a little bit of low end from the mids, giving you a tighter mix. We attenuated the lower mids almost by a dB to get a tight sound. Now these subtle little changes plays a big role in getting that finished master mix sound. So after the EQ, we went ahead and top it off with the stereo bus compressor from SSL, which we're controlling the dynamics about 1 dB compression. And we're getting that nice punchy low end ready, and we have our L2, knocking off any little peaks that might be there. So that's how you get your music ready for streaming. And I'm telling you guys,
Baby, you can hold me or recipe the
all you got to do now is upload a song to Spotify, whatever, and this thing is ready for playback. How did we know that? We use the Streamliner to test the codecs so we can know how a mix is going to sound. But you know, that's a great tool to use to know how your stuff is going to translate. But remember, it takes good professional ears, good mixing to get your music on that level. So I'm not going to get into any reverbs or thing. We're talking about mastering here. So shout out to all the fans. Remember, guys, if you have any questions, you can send me a text and let me know what you want to learn, how to do certain things, why I use the SSL channel. It has been known to be giving that nice desk analog sound. For example, this sound here, if I turn off the SSL, the sound kind of gets quiet, not really interesting. SSL is known to giving stuff body and a nice sound.
finding nobody.
So I'm gonna stop there, guys. Remember, you can hit me up. Link in the description to my website. You want to buy rhythms from me? You know, let me know what's your next question, and let me know what you want me to talk about next in the next video. Want me to mix and master for you? Hit me up. I charge reasonable prices. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.